Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Real Repairs for Real Customers. A very experienced technician asked me a few months ago about drilled holes in plastic where things had been mounted inside the vehicle. Was there any quicker way to fix those? Because he was looking at about a 3-hour job for 100 or so, I don't remember the exact number, holes that he had to fix. And I thought, well, that goes way back 40 years. I can't believe that didn't come to mind for him. But perhaps we missed something along the way, and I've never demonstrated that on the channel, so here's a good opportunity. And so the background for the repair is back in the days of the late 70s and the 80s vehicles, there were a lot of dash repairs to be done. The plastic on the dash would split because the foam would have been expanding due to heat and humidity. The vinyl would dry out by plasticizer migration, and then the vinyl would split. And so one of the ways we would fill the void is to put a really thin super glue into the foam, and then the foam would heat up and expand, melt to the plastic, and we could keep it from overflowing the dash by holding a paint paddle, keep it moving, just keep it subdued so that it was more or less level. And then it would turn rock hard. And of course there you could sand it and make the correct contour. So based on that experience, what I was doing back in the day for the drilled holes was to take the similar foam, fill the drill holes with it, and add the thin super glue to that, because that foam would be reactionary the same way that it was in the dash. So the benefit of that was cementing in the hole, and that was a perfectly quick, clean way to fix these damages. Almost no time and almost no work. So we wanted to take an opportunity to demonstrate that. And of course, on this channel, we have to wait for the opportunity to present itself. It has to be a real repair in the real setting for a real customer as much as possible on this channel, unless we state otherwise. And so we have found that opportunity, and it happened to be along the time that I had a student here, and it was his first time doing it. So we're going to show that. Now, the foam that we get for the repair is just foam that you would get from underneath a seat, like this seat here. This kind of yellow foam seems to work pretty good. Just cut a hunk of that and put that in your toolbox. And the reason that I like that foam in particular is it seems to be reactionary to the thin super glue, and that's the whole secret. So I hope you enjoy this very short presentation. Let's get to work. Okay, so we're pulling a little foam off and tuck it in the hole. Use whatever tool you have that enables you to tuck it in the hole. Usually I use tweezers. Sometimes one side of the tweezer works better because it's a blunt edge. Sometimes a sharp point like this doesn't tuck it so well, but here we go. Now, the foam sticking out allows you to drop the glue onto it if it's on a vertical surface. But you want the foam to wick up the really thin super glue. Of course, you don't want it to drip on the side like this, but this is his very first time doing a field repair. So we're good with it. Going to accelerate that. Now, the trick is to get the knife on it right away. Tap and see if it's hard yet. If the foam is not quite totally hard, now it's time to get it. Get it while you can shave it, right? Go this way and then catch it from the other direction too. Yeah, it's still soft enough to shave it without struggling. Then take 100 grit sandpaper and get that contour down. This is so important. Don't use anything less than 100, or when you get all done, you find you still have a wavy spot on there. Look at that. Isn't that nice? We're done. We're going to give him another shot, though, see what he can do. On a vertical surface, you could imagine that with the foam sticking out, you have plenty of area there to drop the glue and let it absorb into the foam, into the hole, where it gets blistering hot and it will start to smoke actually at that point. Try not to get any glue on the piece like you did here, but he's getting better. It'll start to smoke a little bit usually. Of course, you can accelerate it and again, tap it. You don't want it to be rock hard yet. You want it to get right on it while it's still somewhat soft. Makes it so much easier. You can do maybe one or two at a time, but you got to catch them just at the right time to make it easy to slice. And then 100 grit gets you there. If there is any imperfection at this point, you can always use the wet glue and the 220 glue and sand technique to fill it in. Okay, so we've got some color in the gun. We've got low air pressure so that we can atomize some texture here. This is his very first time spraying a texture. So we're showing it all here for the first time, and he's very generous to let us do this. But as you can see, after having sanded it with 100 grit, it's possible sometimes that you can let texture do the entire surfacing job. We can top off the texture with 400 grit if we need to. We've done that many times on the channel. There were quite a few holes here, so our guy got good experience on his first job in the field. One he could be proud of. Since we're fixing the panels in situ in the car, it might be a good idea to look at the back side of a door panel that we've already repaired. And you can see how the foam is soft here, but it's rock hard in the center. We see how the foam expands on the back side, making sure that this plug is not coming out. And of course, the foam had gotten so hot that it's welded itself to the sides of the hole. Well, that was easy. That was simple. Thanks for watching. I'm going to sign off with a light show in a cloud.